All right, welcome everybody. Let's get this party started. I'll hand it over to Claudia and Nick to take it away.
Cool. So welcome to the third day of the 2021 International Climate Action Challenge Impact Summit. My name is Claudia Hurtado. I'm a member of the Green Team Academy board and a challenger of team number 13, Ocean Minded Inc. Today, I'm here with Nick Zachar, who is going to start with the film review workshop, and then we are handing over the awards to the challengers from the Americas team. So today, Nick is back with us to review some of the 1-minute videos created by the challengers about their 90-day challenge. As you may know, Nick did a 2-hour filmmaking workshop, not only for our challengers, but also for the community back in October. And just in case you missed it, Nick Zachar is an award-winning filmmaker currently working for NOAA's Office of National Marine Sanctuaries as their video producer and diver. Alongside his team, he is directing, shooting, and editing visual reality films that will allow viewers to explore the blue from anywhere in the world. Previously, Nick was a producer and editor for National Geographic's digital team. So Nick, your workshop inspired challengers to learn new ways of filming and storytelling. Many use editing programs for the first time ever. So we thought it would be fun to have you back to see how we did. So now that you have watched the films, what message can you give to our challengers?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me again. It was really cool to see all of the films. You all did a wonderful job, especially, you know, many of you, this is your first time, you know, going through this process. And like I said, in the workshop, I know it's hard, especially being your first time, but I was thoroughly impressed. I thought everybody did an awesome job. And yeah, I think we're going to go through a few of them and maybe just talk about some specifics that, you know, and I really want to tie the feedback to, you know, things that can, you know, relate to all the groups. So whenever we're ready, maybe we can start those up. I'm not sure which one will go first, but.
Yeah, so now we are going to watch and review 3 videos chosen by Nick. So first we are watching Jovial Concepts from the US. Then we're watching Creative Initiative for Enterprise Development from Africa. And lastly, County Farm from the Philippines. So we are going to play the video and then
have you been curious about activities you can do?
Yep.
Have you been curious about activities you can do around your neighborhood to positively affect climate change? For 10 years, Jovial Gardens has been turning lawns to gardens in the Denver metro area. We're super passionate about climate action and the environment. This fall, we reached out to our community to share information about the benefits of not raking fallen leaves. Leaf litter is home to many important insects in our ecosystem, and these insects provide our bird population with plenty of food. Allowing your leaves to decompose naturally provides vital nutrients to the soil, improving the health of your lawn and garden landscape. We believe climate action is a community effort and hope to empower our neighbors to make positive change. Our hope is to encourage our community to become more environmentally sustainable, making real change in a small amount of time. We want these actions to become established practices in our community. Jovial Concepts. Creating a sustainable global future.
All right. So I will preface with that, you know, we're going to screen 3 of these. We just picked 3 that I thought did some things really well, and then also the opportunity to provide some constructive feedback. So, all right, this video. I thought that it was awesome. They did a great job of setting up a story and telling it visually. So, you know, you got 1 minute here, and I was really impressed with, you know, you can tell they planned out the shots that they wanted to go get. They went out and they got them, and then they put it together in a story. And I also was really impressed because it was really, this group did a really good job of, in a short amount of time, you know, really talking about and giving a story. And that's not easy to do. So we got like, towards the end, we got what are their hopes for their project. In the beginning, we got what, in a concise way, what their project was. And I thought they did a really good job with that. I thought so. I saw it even at 14. We had a little zoom onto the logo. That was a good little little fun thing. I like it when people try things and have fun with it. You could tell they were having fun during the filming. That's important. All right, so, you know, sorry, I gotta put my phone on mute. You know, one challenge that I would have for this this group and for all the groups in general is, you know, a lot of the shots were wide. And so, you know, it's, you know, you only have a minute, so you're getting your wide shots and setting the stage. I thought you did a really good job of that, but I challenge you to now move in and try to get closer shots. I saw that there was 4 people in the group, and I do think that there was somebody operating the camera at some points, but it seemed that maybe a lot of times it was set up from afar and they were all in the frame. You know, maybe have one of the people, you know, hold the camera and get in closer and get those medium shots and those close-ups and those detail shots. You know, you have the wide shot of throwing the leaves onto the bed, the garden bed, but maybe we, you know, get the phone in there and throw the leaves onto the garden bed. Maybe they did that. I didn't see that, but I'm trying to think. Maybe put the phone inside of the compost bag and have the leaves falling onto the phone from inside the compost bag. Try to, you know, think outside the box and try to, you know, have fun with it. I know you did have fun with it, but, you know, try new little things there to have different shots to cut to. Other than that, though, I thought it was well planned out, well executed, and just great job putting it together in post. And yeah, great job. I think maybe we're moving on to group 53 here. Claudia, you're on mute, just FYI.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, so we go with group 53.
Awesome.
I'm called Anne Grace Akiteng, team leader of Group 53 from Uganda, promoting regenerative agriculture. We work with the farmer groups and we train them how to raise seedlings for tree growing. We also train them on backyard gardening so that they can grow vegetables. So far, we have established close to 20 hectares of trees grown in farmers' gardens, and we have also managed to train 3 groups on backyard gardening, and that has helped a lot with the nutrition and also income. So the communities no longer depend so much on cutting trees for burning charcoal so that they can raise income. And they have access to fresh vegetables which they use for food and also for income.
Okay, so group 53, nice job as well. One of the things that stood out about this one was the framing of the interview. I thought that the framing looked great. You know, with these short stories, you have a million choices of how you're gonna, you know, frame an interview or have somebody talk to the camera. You know, you centered her up and she looked directly at the audience and told the story. So I thought that was a great choice. You know, you've got all these choices, all these groups have choices. And I thought that, you know, when you do make choices, be thoughtful about them. And I thought that was a very thoughtful, you know, frame for it. I thought that also, you know, you were really concise and she did a really good job of explaining, you know, what the program was and, you know, what they were doing for their community. There was also a really good, you know, message there about how it's benefiting the people that are participating. and just a new way of doing things. And I thought that was really well done, and concise in the story. That's important in these, is being as concise as possible. You've got 1 minute. And Claudia, if there's questions, I can see people are typing. I'm not sure I see the questions. Please, you can stop me. And we've got another 20 minutes here, so happy to talk if anybody's got comments or questions. Now let's talk about, this video was an interview supplemented with, we'll call it B-roll. It was B-roll. Anything that goes over the interview is B-roll, but they had still photographs to work with. And I thought that they did a great job of using still photographs throughout. And this is just personal preference. I didn't like, necessarily the blurred borders around the photos. So I challenge you to, when you have photographs are tough. They're really hard because, we're working in visual moving images. And so you have a still photograph. How do we do this in a way that is still engaging, doesn't take you out, less slideshow, more filming? And I struggle with this even because, let's say we're talking about somebody's past, or you're talking about, the program, and that's what you have to work with. So it's thinking about, okay, what's the best way to make this as, I'll use the term cinematic as possible. So right now we've got blurred borders, and you're doing a zoom onto the photograph. So a Ken Burns effect, if you will, with a little bit more time and energy, you can push in farther. You're going to lose resolution if you push in, and stop me if it just doesn't make sense. But what you can do is, instead of having the blurred borders, push all the way in on that photograph, so that there's no border, and do a move within the image. And I only say this because it'll make it less slideshowy and, more, moving image, if you will. I also saw, so you put moves on the images, which I thought was really good. If you move those in, and then also there were abrupt stops on the edges of the photo animation. So it would stop, then move, and then stop. I would challenge you. I don't know what editing software you're working in, but you can move those keyframes or whatever movement technique you're doing. Move those to the edge. So the second that we cut to the image, it's moving already, and then it moves until the end. I think that there's a reason to do everything, but I think that would give it more of a less choppy, more more smooth transitions between the photographs, and hopefully that makes sense. The other thing that you can do, I challenge you to look up a parallax effect, and this is getting a little more advanced. For the groups that are a little more comfortable in editing, a parallax is you can stack the photos on top of each other, and then this is going to maybe be a foreign language for you, but you can mask the top image. And then you can have just like a mask of like the person, let's say it's a person in the photo. You can just have that person kind of pop out a little bit. And underneath, what you do is you'll feather the edges. This is an advanced technique. So you can YouTube parallax effect for photos, and you can look that up. And it's relatively simple once you do it a few times. Starting out, masking can be a little challenging. But anyways, just an idea. Overall, though, I thought it was really well done. Loved the framing. Your subject was really great on camera. That's important. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, so Nick, now that you say that the changes are kind of abrupt,
yeah,
we also encounter that issue sometimes that we can put together like the images so they can flow like softly or very fast. So would you recommend any software that is maybe free and that it can be used for this kind of homemade videos, if we want to call them like that, because we kind of don't have like all the equipment and the software.
Yeah.
And
for sure. And we edit in Adobe, and Adobe is expensive. So there are though free options out there. Now, if you have a Mac, you've probably got iMovie on there. If you've got a PC, you've probably got Windows Movie Maker. but there is a free option that I recommend everybody if you're interested in video editing. It's free. It's called DaVinci Resolve, and you're gonna open it up and be like, oh my God, this is really like a lot. But the more time you spend in it, that's basically a professional editing software that you can get. There's a paid version, but there's also a free version. Do the free version, and just start playing around in there and really, digging in deep, because that software is a professional level software for free. So I recommend that one for people. And you can do all these things I'm talking about. The paid version has some extra things that you don't really need at this, if you're just starting out. So I recommend DaVinci Resolve, and yeah, check it out.
And so do you think that one of these videos should have like a combination of a person talking directly to the camera, or is better to have like action, or what is better to have? Because Christina and I are in different countries, like we were kind of restricted in our case to like recording. We wanted to do it at the same time, but for the people who is maybe in Africa, in the States, what would you recommend that is better to do, like a personal shot like the one we just saw, or others that are more action?
That's a great question. And it depends. I'm gonna say it depends on what it is you're trying to do. I remember yours, Ocean First, right? Ocean Minded. And I remember you did your best because you're remote, and so you did a Zoom and you recorded the screen. And I thought that was, so you took your situation and you thought outside the box, and that's how you did yours. That was, I thought, wonderful. For this one, well, I will say that if this group, so group 53, could do anything to maybe, in my mind, what I would like to see, they worked with what they had. I know that, but I'm going to say, if they had, let's say, a day of shooting that they could go do with an iPhone or something like that, it would be to get out there with these groups or with somebody planting the trees, and take footage of that process and then put that into a scene, into a 1 minute. That's what I thought Jovial Concepts did a relatively good job of, is they kind of did that. But I will say Group 53 again did well with what they had. They knew that they had still images, and that they then did the interview with this person, and they combined the two. And so they did, so they did well with what they had to work with. Does that make sense? Each thing's different, and you're really going to have to work with what you can. We also are in a really crazy time right now, with COVID and stuff like that. So it's not easy to get out there and film. And so completely understandable. So, I thought that, anyways, both groups I thought did really well. And yeah, you want to get out there and try to see some action for sure. Action is good. And then having one person tell the story like Group 53 did, because, we can connect with her when we see her start out talking, and then it cuts to either the B-roll or the photographs or whatever. I thought that was really well done.
Okay, nice. So Malika has a question. She's asking, what Adobe software are you using? I saw two different ones.
Yeah, so we're using Adobe Premiere. That is what we use for editing, but Adobe has all these supplemental softwares. So like if I want to do animation, I'm in After Effects. It's called Adobe After Effects. If we have graphic designers and they're working in Illustrator, so there's all kind. Adobe has, but it's not cheap, so that's another struggle with Adobe. And so but Adobe's video editing software is Premiere. And there's also one for mobile. I think it's called Premiere Rush or something like that. I have never used it, but it makes it able to do quick edits on your phone. But that's just another thing.
Okay, so let's go with Conti Forms.
Yes.
O, kumusta mga ka-urban? Nandito ulit tayo sa County Farm. May mga bago kami ngayon. May mga cosmos na rin tayo. Para kung sakaling mag-bee farming tayo, ready na tayo. May mga bago rin tayong mga pananim. Kakawati po ang tawag nito. Meron na rin tayo, umuuslong na rin yung mga malunggay natin. Citronella. Ito mga malunggay. Ganda na rin ang tubo. Pili na demonyo, galing Bicol. Ito, green na green. Meron din tayong dragon fruit, ay mulberry. Huwag kalimutan yung nitig natin na papaya. Tayong rain catcher. Tinupin ko lang itong tent para makakuha ng tubig. Ito yung lagundi. Yung mga gustong pang-herbal niyan. Sige, pasyalan po kayo dito sa county at bibigyan ko kayo.
All right, I picked this one because I thought it was fun, and I thought that they, nowadays, with social video, everything is kind of like, upbeat. They're using the right music. They're doing like speed ramping. So here's the thing: is they did some, more advanced techniques that I thought that with more precision will be really well done. They did some speed ramping, which is really cool. So, and we kind of got to know this person. So I will say that, we followed this person around. There was the action. And you can tell he's super passionate about these plants that are in there. My question and my challenge for this group would be what is going on? What is the why of this video? What is the group doing? We need a little bit more there. So supplement that with this guy, taking us around and showing us the plants, and kind of giving us more of, I feel like the story, we need more story there. And that's not easy to do. So, completely understandable, but I thought that you did a really good job. I can tell you had fun with it, especially the editing. The editing was a little, editing's hard. I still struggle with editing. There's a little bit of it was a little choppy, a little jarring at certain parts. You did a good job of laying the scene with, I think it was a drone shot in the beginning. I think somebody's flying a drone there, which is awesome. And we're seeing where we're at, which is great. Then we get into where we're at. And you want to know what this group did really well was you're working in a really loud place. Sound is really difficult. And so what you did well was we're hearing that it's loud and we need to see why it's loud. So what you did was you took drone footage of the busy street and you showed the busy street. And so it's basically giving the viewer, they're going to forgive you because they're like, oh, it looks like it's really busy and loud there. So, all right, we'll forgive a little bit of the sound. Again, sound is one of the most difficult things. Obviously the captions help out because, and also it's a, translation. So people who need the translation, they got it. What was some other things? Oh, one thing also with this one is you can tell that the editor, so on the, timeline, whatever you're editing in, you have audio on below, and then you have video on top. I wish I, could pull up a screenshot here, but we talked about it in the workshop. Yeah, audio below and video on top. And what they're doing is they're stacking the clips specifically with what he's saying and what we're seeing. Whereas I would challenge you to lay out the sound bed and then put video. I hope this makes sense. Put video on top. You don't have to marry the two unless you're seeing somebody talking with their, that we need to see. If we see somebody talking, we need the audio to match up, right? But if they're not talking, or we're getting a close-up shot of the plant or something like that, you can have the sound underneath and see something else. Does that make sense? And also, something that COVID is kind of making easier for us is that people are wearing masks. It's less, there's less need to match up the moving mouth because we're not seeing their mouths. So you can cheat a little bit. Obviously, like you want to, if I see somebody talking with a mask on, there's nothing wrong with like, not lining it up perfectly with what they're saying. So just keep that in mind. Take advantage of a bad situation. And again, that allows you to cheat a little bit in editing. So just a trick, if you don't see somebody's mouth moving, you don't have to necessarily match it up perfectly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I really like this video as well because of the first shots of the drone and the street. And we can hear what you say, the noise of the buses, because we have them here. And to see that house like right in the middle of the street, just with that number of plants and food, like it's super
That's cool, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
that's super cool. Yeah. So, okay, we are almost finishing our session. So we want to finish this session awarding Nick with a 2021 Eco Champion Award. Connecting with you this year, what has been a gift? You have been an inspiration and a role model to follow. So thanks so much for all the support that you have given to the Green Team Academy and for motivating us to create these videos so we can show the world what we have been doing to protect nature. So thank you so much, Nick, in behalf of the Green Team Academy.
I was not expecting this. That is really nice of both of you. And thank you to everybody. It's really rewarding for me. We did a workshop and then now we got to see that workshop be put to work by awesome teams that are, they're the real eco champions. I'm glad that I could lend a little bit of knowledge to you all so that you can continue. I challenge you to continue telling your stories through video, please. And that's really special. Thank you so much for including me, and I hope to continue working with you. And we can do this again in the future, hopefully.
I guess with this advice, we just want to make so many videos to see how to improve the ones we did. Like in my case, for example, I want to go and do another one to keep making it better. So yeah, thank you so much.
Keep doing it, and you will see it as you keep doing it. Trust me, you will get better and better and better. And the more you do it, the better you will get. And anybody can be a filmmaker and tell these stories. So don't be discouraged if you're like, oh, mine doesn't look great. Trust me, everything I did starting out was not great. And I look back and laugh, and you'll do the same. You'll go through your own journey and as a storyteller. And yeah, thank you, both of you, Joan and Claudia. It means a lot. And I hope to continue with you, working with you.
And I wanted to say also, Nick, that, we actually changed our requirements for our Eco Champion Award, that we said, you can get an honorable mention if you go out and do cool stuff, make an impact, but we reserve the Eco Champion Award for our teams, for those that made a video. And the reason is kind of what you said earlier, which is that the story is yours to tell. Yeah. Like what you're doing, what you're seeing, you're the one to tell it. Sure, you can invite Channel 7 in to also tell it, but they're going to do it after they see yours. And so, the other thing that we're all about is transformation. And so we see that when people create a video, they get, they put themselves out there. Yeah. And you have to be confident about what they're saying and figure out what they're saying and make it really concise. That helps them become a leader themselves. So this process has really upped our game for the challenge. And so, yeah, we're excited for this one, and hope to just keep doing cool stuff with you going forward. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. That's awesome. Yes, these are your stories to tell, and keep telling them because they're important. I loved learning about all of them. I loved watching them, and I can't wait to see the future ones and see what, this is really cool. So thank you, Joan.
Let's hope that we are able to do like a film festival with our own videos. That would be amazing.
There you go. Exactly. That's awesome. And I love that you're incorporating more and more, visual storytelling there. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thank you to Claudia and to Nick, and we'll move into our next session here. So let me see if I can let you guys drop back out there. All right. Well, that was a fun way to start the morning. Let's see, hopefully, is that working? There we go. Woohoo! Film festival and red carpet. Thank you, Nick, from Moise and Rob and Karen and everyone. Yeah, it's, you know, you guys, this is what we're always talking about as far as partners. Like, there's no way that we could do this without Nick, but also, you know, we give Nick an opportunity to share his passion and really put it out there. So that's why partnerships we just love. All right, so let me see where the heck we're at here. We want to pull up our Impact Summit schedule for the day. Woo, that was such a fun way to start the day. All right, so we are on our third and final day. We're so excited for our Impact Summit. As you might have heard before, our numbers, our 75 teams planted 150,000 trees, started 130 gardens, 3 urban farms, held 40 cleanups, removed 48 tons of debris from waterways, diverted 8.9 tons of organic waste that would have gone to landfills and instead became compost, held 200 community events during the pandemic, reached out to 25,000 people and developed 200 partnerships. So congrats to all of our teams. We're so excited for everything that folks have been doing. And that leads us right into today's session, which is our spotlight on our Americas teams. And after we do that, at the top of the hour, we will head into our Zoom meeting. So at that time, we'll all be on camera and you can talk more. We'll do a breakout room. And then we'll stay in that Zoom meeting for our last session of the day, which is how is Mentor and Mobilize. So how to use this 90-day challenge to just really explode the amount of action and collaboration in your own community, whether that's a business, if you're a multinational corporation or you're a business, you have a few different departments, a school district, your city's climate action plan, neighborhoods, faith communities, any groups that you can imagine, youth groups. So we'll be talking, and Twigs & Co will be in there with us, helping us do that. So before we get into our America's Challenge or awards, I wanted to also just mention our Tree Heroes Wall of Fame. And we would love it if you would plant a tree with us, contribute $25. I mean, what we're doing here, like what our teams are doing, what Nick's doing, the filmmaking, it's incredible. This is amazing stuff. And so we encourage you, we invite you to be part of it, to make a contribution of $25 or more. Join all these very cool people that have already done this. Our goal is to get up to 1,000 trees. There's a few more that came in that we have not added. I feel like I'm like on the public radio something-a-thon. But yeah, it's great. We are a community supported organization, and we do rely on your investments to allow us to be able to do this next year and continuing on. So thanks so much to our sponsors. Susan Wright has been instrumental in helping me create the book and keep this organization going. Twigs & Co, Serendipity Catering, all of our other folks here who have stepped in and helped us, and our key partnerships with Earth Guardians Africa. We're a 1% for the Planet organization, so if you want to donate there, and also Seed for Calm, who has helped us with such a strong showing in the Philippines. Okay, I think I've got all of my announcements done. All right. Thank you, Jen, for putting that comment into the chat as far as how to plant a tree. So now we're going to go to, so this session is called our Americas Spotlight, but we did already do our Denver teams yesterday. And the recordings are on Facebook. We'll have the recordings all on YouTube for those of you who have registered. If you're watching on Facebook, go to climateactionchallenge.net and register for the summit so you can get all the recordings too. So yeah, and yesterday our session with the Denver Office of Climate Action, Sustainability and Resilience was amazing. They have a lot of cool things going on there that makes us a model. So hope you can watch that too. Okay, so I'm just going to run real quickly through. We have so many teams right here. Our honorable mentions first. Oh, hold on one second. We actually, Claudia and Christine are not able to stay very long. So I want to show their video first. And this is one that Nick had mentioned. So this is Ocean Minded. They are working in Colombia and Canada. So let's go ahead and do that one first, and so they can see it before they have to dash off. And then we will go through the others as well. And Claudia here has been my cohort as we've been doing. She helped do the whole film festival. So it's very fun to see her film as well. Okay, here's Team 13 Eco Champion Award winners, Ocean Minded from Canada and Colombia.
We understand and deeply feel the importance of the ocean to the health of our planet and the survival of our species. We also recognize that one of the greatest challenges to protecting our blue life force is the disconnection of modern society from the natural world.
Hello, my name is Christine Stortini. I'm a marine biologist based out of Montreal, Quebec in Canada.
And I'm Claudia Hurtado, a marine biologist as well, an environmental educator based in Buga, Colombia. So Christine and I are working together to create ocean services and education materials through our business Ocean Minded Inc.
We started by developing a video series and podcast called My Ocean Story to share stories of the human-ocean connection from a diverse group of people from around the world.
And with our growing network of partners, we are giving youth a voice through storytelling events and are planning future education activities.
We are also creating a fun, interactive ocean education workbook for youth filled with knowledge and stories of a deeper connection to the ocean to inspire positive action.
Ultimately, we hope that our work will inspire and empower others
to connect with and protect the ocean.
Yay! Congratulations to the Ocean Minded team. As I was watching that, I was just remembering what Nick had said about those close-ups, like being able to zoom in and seeing the kids painting pictures of whales. It's interesting how, how that really gets you in the heart. So congratulations, Christine and Claudia. And Claudia especially, thank you for all the help that you have given to Green Team Academy throughout this entire year as we got off the ground. So thank you. Okay, all right, so now we're going to run through our honorable mentions, and then we're going to show you 3 more videos from our Eco Champion Awards. As I said when I was talking with Nick, is that every one of our teams that made a big impact, that we know that they made an impact, we are recognizing them with an honorable mention award. And the difference between that level and the next one is the Eco Champions went on to also create a video, to do this 1-minute video, do their impact report, and be able to really articulate what it is that they're doing. And so we're going to start with Youthpower. And Youthpower WECAN is a team that was a challenger last year as well. This is a team led by Heather McLeod. And the Youthpower team has done all kinds of things, from voter registration. They collect used books and they sell them to raise money for their their partnership with Trinity Forestry Services as a way to do tree planting. So that's another one of our teams. And they go out and pick up seeds. So they do seed hunting and all kinds of cool things that getting the youth involved. And one of the stories that I have heard is about a lot of teens, and teens on this team in particular, that initially felt kind of helpless and hopeless. And so congrats to Heather, especially as the adult in their lives, saying, we care about you, we care about your ideas, and we'll act on them. We'll work alongside you. So congratulations, to honorable mention for Youthpower WECAN. The next is 21 XULA Green. So we don't have, let's see, we don't have profiles for every one of our teams here. So, but we do have one for XULA Green, one of our honorable mentions. And XULA Green is the team from Xavier University in New Orleans, Louisiana. This is a historically Black college. And I love what they're doing here is that they have this urban forestry model. And so during their challenge, they were able to plant a total of 8 trees, including some of the indigenous trees, the bald cypress and live oak. And they do a lot for water retention, and then also fruit trees, so tangerine trees that are going to be producing fruit. And the other cool thing that they did was they created a sustainability committee. So this is what we see, is that when our teams get together, they start taking action. They are starting to transform the culture of the places that they are working, that they are doing their activities. So congratulations to XULA Green, and can't wait to see your whole forest, your food forest explode there. All right, next is Team 50, Project V in Mexico. Karen Edith Palacio is the team lead there, and she was a challenger last year as well. Project V is advocating for a plant-based diet, and one of their members was at COP26 and in attending all kinds of meetings. And in the same way that at COP26, that a lot of the fossil fuel companies were advocating their positions, that this team is saying, you know, one of the things that's not being talked about is that the meat industry, that the carbon footprint from eating animals is not being talked about as much as it should be. It is just not getting enough attention. And so that's what Project V for Vegan is all about. So congratulations for raising awareness and for being a voice for animals and for carbon reductions through diet changes. Next up is Malika Yates and her crew with the Newark, Delaware chapter of the Climate Reality Project. Congratulations. Malika is a longtime participant, supporter with Green Team Academy, and their team put on 2 different conferences. One was a youth conference, and another was an international conference for climate reality leaders. And Malika does an excellent job at making space for voices. I know one of our board members here, Darwin, works closely with Malika. He's from Zambia. He gave a presentation on one of her sessions and then was invited to go speak to another group. And so this thing of allowing people on the ground who are doing things to help amplify their voices as leaders and get their voices out there, their stories out there, is really important. So congratulations to Team 51. And finally, our next is the Interfaith Climate Group. And this is a group based in Florida, and they are working on a project called Climate Change the Musical. And this is an intergenerational group that is out there asking people to tell stories and create art, create performances around their experiences with climate change. So it's a very exciting group that is working towards an April event called Climate Change the Musical. So we will have more details about all these teams up on our blog as we go forward. But we for sure have the videos up of our Eco Champion Awards. All right, so here we are moving on to Eco Champion Awards, and the first team that we're going to be showing you the video for is Think Greener USA. All right, so let's see here. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show these videos, and then we'll chat for a second after this.
Humanity caused the climate crisis, and we have the power to solve it. Should we continue pointing the finger, or should we inspire one another into action?
Hi, I'm Rob.
Hi, I'm Eva.
And we're from
Think Greener.
As a video production company, we spotlight solutions reversing effects of the climate crisis. Team consists of 4 passionate volunteers. Our 90-day challenge goal is to create 3 films. Through the power of story, we will educate, inspire, and motivate thousands of people around the world. To achieve a carbon-neutral footprint, we partnered with team number 5 from Uganda to sponsor planting of trees. We recorded content and identified final spotlights. The first film is about a sustainable community.
Findhorn actually won't be here. We'll be underwater.
The second addresses global financing for renewable energy, and the third is about COP26. Support us and view our films here. The climate crisis is real. We must act now. So remember, think greener.
Congratulations, Think Greener. All right, so some of the things that we really like about what this team has done is that they have, so Rob and Eva decided that they were going to take this chapter of their life to go out there and spotlight films and spotlight people that are actually making an impact. And so that they know that also by doing that kind of travel, they are increasing their carbon footprint. And so we love that they decided to partner with Trinity Forestry Services, another one of our teams here, our team that planted 23,000 trees during the 90 days, that they decided to partner with this grassroots environmental forestry group to be able to plant trees for their offset. And also that they're out there finding these stories and sharing them, which is a lot about what we're doing as well. So congratulations to the entire team at Think Greener. All right. Okay, so now we're moving on. Our next one will go to the Curaçao Business Action Team. And this is Tamira and her team. Let's go ahead and watch her video.
Many climate actions are geared to individuals, but how many are geared to businesses, especially small businesses in islands so susceptible to climate change? Hi, this is the Curaçao Business Climate Action Team. Our objective was to spur climate action by businesses by working with diverse partners. Our impact? We reached 15,000 people with tips for climate action by businesses. Some material will be permanently on YouTube. We worked with 14 diverse partners. Products of 8 micro enterprises were put in retail stores. We donated 100 plants to schools. What's next? Courses for micro entrepreneurs to make products from local material. A survey for businesses to measure their climate action and get tips, and encourage teams to participate in ICAC21.
We can't help but love that last bullet of encouraging teams to take part in our 2022 challenge. What we love about what happens here with the challenge and with Green Team Academy in general is that we are different than a lot of environmental groups who say, this is the top priority, we want you to do this. Instead, we flip it around and we say, who are you? What do you care about? What do you want to do? That thing that you see, that you're passionate about, that's driving you crazy, that you think someone should be able to do something about. Our message is that you are the expert in your own community and your ideas matter and you're the one to do it. And so check out Tamira and Sharella's team, that they worked with, what was that, 14 partners. They got retail goods from micro entrepreneurs into 8 stores or something. They did media events where they got on the radio and TV, and they used their voices to be able to show businesses how business can be part of the solution. Just like the first team that Ocean Mind did, where they're starting a business. So we're not saying that everything that you do has to be out of just your volunteer hours. This is great. We love seeing how people are showing, no, you can make money and do good at the same time. So congratulations to the Curaçao Business Action Team. All right. So we did Ocean Minded. Okay. All right. So now we are moving on to Eco 365 in the Commonwealth of Dominica. We just love this story because one of our board members, Eloise Thomas, Ella, is started this organization called Eco 365 with the idea of going in and working with schools and helping schools plant trees. And she's here in the US, she's from Dominica, does a lot there, and found this one excellent school to be the pilot for this idea. And so we're so proud of Principal Shirley Mills and her team, and for mobilizing. And let's go ahead and watch their video.
Western District SDA Primary School is on the move to save the earth.
We are planting today to help fight climate change.
Yay, congratulations, Eco 365 and the Western District SDA Primary School in Dominica. This is another win for Nick's filmmaking workshop. Shirley Mills, the principal, was on there listening, figuring out what the heck are they asking us to do here with this whole video, and went about and made this their very first video using all these editing tools. And their team was able to plant 50 trees this year. And they developed a partnership with the forestry department, who actually provided the trees for them. And they're also working, this is really cool, they're working with the local group of the National Employment Program, who's going to assist in caring for and watering the trees. So something really important. But this was done on the community day. So in Dominica, they have a community day of service on November 4th every year. And so I have the feeling that this is going to be an annual thing that grows and just takes off from there. All right, so congratulations everyone for being part of, to all of our honorable mentions and all of our Eco Champion Award winners from the Americas. And let's see here, I want to share the link. So let me get this up here for a second. I want to share the link for our next session, which is somewhere. I just have to find it. Our next session is going to be a Zoom meeting. And here we go. You guys are so patient, I think. All right. So we are going to end this session right here, and then we will see you on the happy hour. And hopefully you guys that are on right now, that you'll hop over into the happy hour so we can talk face to face. We'll be in there for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to go into that next session of how can you take this idea of the challenge to create an annual program that just builds and builds and really helps you transform your community quickly. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for everyone in the chat. Thanks, Jen, for helping keep everything up here. Nan, everybody from the Green Team Academy team. We will see you shortly in the happy hour. Okay, see you soon.